Good day to all. Welcome to Extreme Recap. The film starts by presenting Sedoka Takabana, the hero, a secondary school understudy. She is currently traveling to school by bus, and it is clear that all of the boys are interested in her. One of them is Suzuki, a fellow classmate. He straightforwardly conveys his warm gestures for Satoko. Her sudden love for him makes the bus sparkle and causes panic among the passengers, despite the fact that he had previously rejected her after she had confessed. When Satoko looks out the window, she can see her older brother Haruka recklessly kicking the bus as he rides by on his bicycle. Fortunately, no one was hurt despite the risk he posed. When Suzuki got to the school, Haruka told him to stay away from his sister. Since he recently fired Suzuki, he accepts that she does not deserve a sister. Meanwhile, Tocha is moved closer by two other young fellows who moreover conveyed their friendship for her. One of them is the player and womanizer Chiaki Miyoko, a young man. The second is addressed to Connie Saracola, a clinical expert. Despite the fact that he has admitted to being a Tokyo first love, he has also declined her proposal. The two young men spoke affectionately to their beloveds. By saying sweet things, Chiaki tries to be romantic in a variety of ways. On the other hand, Tikana is a cool, dashing man who tries to draw Tokyo's attention to himself by appealing to her with his extravagant wealth. Then, it turns out that Shivaji and Takani are not the only ones who have fallen in love with Satoa. She is also in love with an apprentice teacher named Wayataka Sensei. However, in order to keep boys from approaching the Toka, her overprotective brother Haruka is always present. He even beats them up when it's necessary. Haruka is of the firm opinion that no one can annoy his sister or make her cry. However, only he. It turns out that his younger sister knew something important about him, which will be revealed later in the film. One afternoon, Satoshi and her friend Miyaki, who is Chiaki's sister, went sunbathing. She explains that her brother is very serious about his feelings for Satoa. At the same time, a boy joins them, claiming that his brother Connie is just as committed to finding Satocha. When our heroic young lady hears this, she becomes equally perplexed and begins to consider which child would be ideal for her, even in the school setting. She continues to examine this issue. Satocha gets lost in her own world and falls down the stairs. Thankfully for her, she is captured by an apprentice teacher named Wayataka Sensei, who is holding his crush. The teacher can't stop blushing. Other students have appeared to be envious of you because you are the class's most attractive teacher. Later, Chiaki approaches the Toko after bringing a cute puppy there. She started to play with it, which provoked her to make her day naturally. Nonetheless, Haruka shows up at the scene with perfect timing to support Chiaki, to keep his sister away from him. He commands the boys to keep away from her. By and by, Miyaki, who is likewise present, demands that her harsh allow her sibling an opportunity. She claims that he is a kind and responsible person. That evening at home, as the brother and sister engage in fights, Haruka finally agrees. Connie stops by to express welcome to Satoko. He briefly flirts with Haruka before having a private conversation with her. When they are alone, Connie reveals that he is aware of the secret Haruka has been keeping from his sister. It turns out that they do not appear to be biologically related. Kin Sedoka was only 1 year old when she was embraced by the Tako Bomb family. He also says that Haruka doesn't have brotherly feelings for Satoa. Surprised, Haruka admits that he loves Soto and tells Connie not to pursue him. Because she will eventually be his, he is certain that he will marry her. Notwithstanding, Connie moves her and won't withdraw. Ruga declaring that she will select him the following day. Haruko and Satoko attend a fireworks festival on the way. They meet Chiaki and Connie, who are also attending the festival. The three boys then engage in a game to determine which of them will accompany Satoko to the festival. As a result, Haruka has to go to the festival last, and Chiaki gets in ahead of Connie, who is in second place. Chiaki and Satoshi seem to partake in being together. They play games and spend quality time together. Connie's move follows from that point on. He welcomes Tokyo to a sanctuary to offer supplications. He even surprised her by kissing her. As she observes them from a distance, Haruko feels envy. She fell out of the temple as Tokyo stepped down, and Haruko leaned in to help. He had decided not to confess to her the mysterious in the expectations that it would make her miserable. He does enjoy but he gets hurt in the process. Fortunately, out of fear, he is rushed to the hospital. The doctors explained that he only developed a few minor bruises over time. Additionally, Chiaki shows up at the clinic and quickly talks to Satoshi. Incredibly, she asks him not to advance toward her anymore, as she has sought after her decision to be with Takane. Chiaki is understandably upset by his decision to let her go, even though he respects her decision. Satoko tries to help at home later. Since his hand hasn't mended as expected, Uruguay is scrubbing down. However, as he was washing his hair, he veered off course and landed on the soapy surface. He wound up in the bath, and Haruka saw her trickling wet. Haruka suffers from anxiety. He grabs a towel and wraps it around her. After that, he abruptly gives her a behind-the-back embrace and demands that she not date. Connie Satoa is taken aback and perplexed by a similar incident. She receives mixed feelings for remaining silent. She is aware that they are related, but she is unaware that they are not naturally related. She becomes extremely anxious when comedian Hart begins to scurry and shout. Satoka hurries into her room when she hears somebody drawing nearer simultaneously. She then inquires as to why the storm was embracing her from behind when her heart began to drop so clearly. Due to her romantic interest in Haruko, she also wishes they weren't siblings. Connie arrives at Satoko's school the following day in an extravagant vehicle to take her out on the town. All of the other students are impressed by his wealth and good looks, barring Haruka. He tells Connie, who is unmistakably envious and irritated, to always take care of his sister and never hurt her feelings. Before Connie takes Tokyo to a posh restaurant for their first date, the wealthy man agrees, despite clearly being irritated by the hurricane's excessive protection. Regardless, Argyle doesn't appear to be enjoying himself there. She considers to herself that the food was extravagant to the point that she was practically incapable to eat it. She only wants to eat. Meanwhile, Haruko is squashed and considers forging ahead from Satoa, since she clearly prefers to date Takane. Connie walks around Tokyo later to take in the stunning cityscape at night. After a while of walking, he invites her to his car, where he plans to have a sexual relationship with her. In any case, Satoko rapidly dismisses, ensuring that she isn't ready to do it with them. He is aware that Haruka and Zitoka are not related in any way because Zitoka is not the family's biological child. The dark secret about the family talk comes out when you feel rejected by Connie. Additionally, he reveals that Satoko was adopted by the family when she was just 1 year old. Shaken to her core, Satoka quickly leaves the scene and weeps as she does so. She requests a clarification from Haruka with respect to the way that she isn't his more youthful sister when she returns home. She also wonders, with a heavy heart, whether she has always been an outsider to the family. Hurricane reveals everything and corroborates Connie's assertions. It just so happens that Haruka also recently learned about this. He then tells Satoko that his family will anyway revere her, notwithstanding. She will constantly be talked about corresponding to her family, and their bond won't ever change. The only reason they didn't tell her the truth was because they didn't want it to affect her studies. Satocha, then again, remains crushed when she understands that she is a vagrant and has no family members. The recent news at school the next day continues to have an impact on Satiric. As a consequence of this, whenever the instructor makes a significant announcement in the course of the class, she projects a melancholy demeanor and is attentive. It turns out that Yaitaki, an apprentice teacher, shared the information with the students and realized that the school's tenure would end that day. The Taki approaches the Toka and informs her that they will no longer have a teacher-student relationship as of today. As a result, the Taki plans to openly express his feelings for the Toka and ask her out on a date. Despite this, Satoa is too caught up in her own thoughts. Haruka and the recent discovery that will forever alter her life are all she can think about. As she looks out the school window, Satoka recalls her and Haruka's childhood. She also finds some peace in the recognition of her love for Haruka. This Satoka rider bicycle may have been being pursued by something else at top speed all along, trying to locate Haruka while she was on her way. She anticipates that Haruka might also have the same affections for her that she has for non-kin after spending more time with him. Because of this, he is unquestionably always possessive and protective of her. When he saw other young men moving toward Satoka, he would immediately become enraged and eager. Shortly after, Setoka learns where her Lucas is, who turns out to be Tuxin's church-based private conversation partner. The two young fellows are revolting. Connie is requested to reveal herself by their affection for her detecting the Tokyo. She nervously emerges from behind a pillar after he convinces her to listen to her heart and explains that she no longer needs to hide her feelings. Connie would prefer not to have a close relationship with a young woman who doesn't really love him. After Satoko hears Connie's reaction and chooses to abandon her, he leaves the premises. Setoka finally reveals to Haruko that she truly loves him, as a girl would love the boy of her dreams. However, she does so before telling Haruko to always care for her and never make her see. She had mixed feelings for him because she falsely believed they were siblings. However, now that she is aware of the truth, her feelings are much more obvious. Satoa has no doubts at all. She truly loves Haruka and longs to be with him. Uruguay is thrilled about this. Subsequently, he gives Tokyo a kiss and embraces her. Finally, this indicates that their relationship has begun. The couple decides to discuss how much they love their parents after that. Their families are initially taken aback when they discover that Haruka and Satoka are having an official relationship. Nevertheless, after some thought, they are pleased with their relationship. He had promised to marry Satoa one day, Haruka remembers, but she doesn't seem to remember it. Haruka is disappointed and guilty as a result. When Setoka surprises him with a kiss on the lips, the movie ends. Turn on notifications, please subscribe for more videos like this, and like the channel to support it. Thank you very much for watching.